What's up?
Show them why they call us black nowadays.
Okay, I'm going to show
Even
you.
though we brown.
All right, give me that in Deuteronomy. So, a lot of, even, matter of fact, come down here too. Let me show you something. So, like you were saying, we get called black. We get called more than just black. They call us niggas, right? They call us African Americans, all these different names, right? But those are not our God-given names. It's a reason why these names got put on us as a people, okay? So read that, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
All right?
But it shall come to pass.
So I'm going to set it up for you. You ever heard of the Exodus? The great Exodus with Moses and the Israelites? You ever heard it before? You seen the movie The Ten Commandments, right? With all them people walking through the Red Sea? Well, we got to understand those movies depict people that are white, Caucasian. But when you read in the Bible, you'll understand that God's chosen people, people that walk through the sea with Moses, are black people, okay? Right. So you got to have that in your mind first. You got to take white Jesus out of your mind for a moment. Because this don't exist. It's not real. This is the devil. So read it again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites. Black people talking, okay? He said, if you don't listen to the voice of God, read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Read on.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God is telling us, you Israelites, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to put curses on you, all right? So we're going to go and find the curse that you was asking about, as for why are we being called black today, or African Americans, or niggas. It's a curse. Give me that. Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37.
Listen good.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
So God says we don't become a proverb and a byword. When we are called bywords, meaning you call something outside the name God gave you, like African American, Puerto Rican, Hispanic. Those names are not in the Bible. Right. You understand that? Those names was put upon us because we lost our identity, because we broke God's commandments, and he judged us. All right, read it again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So wherever you go, you're going to be still called bywords. Let's think about it. You're from America, right? I guarantee you, if you get on a flight and go to China, you know what they'll call you over there? A black, a nigger, all these things they will put on us, they are falling everywhere we go. Why? Because we broke God's commandments, all right? So read it, verse 48. We don't get some more curses if you don't furthermore explain how we got these names on us, all right? Because I want to prove to you that we are God's chosen people. You got to understand that. Read verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So God says another curse that's going to be put on the Israelites for breaking his commandments is you're going to have to serve your enemies. All right? Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read on.
And hunger.
So God says the Israelites are going to have to serve they who? What's your name? James. Daniel. So God says, Daniel, that the Israelites are going to serve who? Their enemies, right? Let's see for what? Read on.
And hunger. And in thirst.
So God says you're going to serve your enemies for food and water. What people do we go to as black people go to get our food and water from? Well, it's the white people, right? Read it again from the top. Let's see what God calls the people that we got to get our stuff from. Read it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So God says the people that you go get your food from, your water from, they're your enemies. You serving your enemies for everything. Read on.
Which the Lord shall sin against thee.
And we did it to ourselves because we broke his commandments. And we would have kept his commandments, we would have been still on top. But we broke his commandments, now we got to serve our enemies for everything, all right? Read on.
In hunger.
If you want food, you got to go to your enemies. Read on.
And in thirst.
If you want water, you got to go to your enemies. Read on.
And in nakedness.
If you want clothing, you got to go to your enemies. Even if you say, well, they're black-owned, right? Black-owned companies. What's something you got to pay on them clothes that you buy? You got to pay what? Taxes. Where did that money go to? Your enemies, all right? Read on.
And want of all things.
And everything you want, you got to go to your enemies. Let's think about it. When we was in slavery, right? Did we know how to read and write?
Bring it out.
Could we read and write in slavery? No. So everything we learned, we got it from who? Our slave master, right? And they taught us what? White Jesus. This is not in the Bible, nowhere. You don't read about a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes nowhere in this book.
Right.
I can show you a black man that's going to come and save us out of this
right.
book. You understand that? Read it again. From where you started left off from.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So we got to ask you this. You ever seen Roots or 12 the Slave? What did the slaves have on their neck? Let's look at the signs we have. What race of people had yokes of iron on their neck? What race of people? It was black people. No other people on the face of the earth went through what we went through. So that's how you know this Bible is talking about us and nobody else. This is our history book. And all these things happened to us because we did not want to keep God's commandments, all right?
Right.
Read on.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Now, you know how destroyed we are? We walk around calling ourselves African American. We call ourselves black. We call ourselves Puerto Rican. We call ourselves Mexicans. All these things happened to us because we broke God's commandments, and we're to the point we so destroyed we don't even know where to start from when it comes back to our history. We think our history starts with slavery.
Right.
No, it's way more than that. Our history starts from the beginning of time with Adam. Give me Genesis 2. All right? Because you talk about they call us black. God's prophets, they are black. They are brown skin.
Right.
Understand that? Your jacket you got on, that's black. There's nobody walking around that dark. But we're brown. Okay? All right, so listen to this, Daniel. Let's see what the first man that ever stepped foot on this earth looked like. Read.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So here we go. Look right here. That's dust of the ground right there, right? What color is that?
Black.
It's black. So the first man on the earth was what?
Black.
He was black.
That's
Read it
right.
again.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So he formed the first man of the dust of the ground, which is brown, dark brown, and that first man was black. Now, give me that Genesis 1. He said, let it go make man in our image. All right? We're going to understand he got that from somewhere. He didn't just pick something out of the air and say, you know, I'm going to do that. It's the reason why he did that. Genesis 1.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26.
Read
And
it.
God said.
So this is God speaking. Let's see what God said. All right? Come listen, brother. That's what we're talking about, the history, your history in this Bible. All right? Come down for a minute. You ain't got nothing else you got to do. Read it again.
Bring it
And
out.
God said.
So this is God speaking right here. Okay, let's see what God said.
Let us
Go ahead.
make man in our image.
So God said, I'm going to make man in our image. And what did he make the first man out of? The ground. So what color is God and the angels? They black.
That's
brown
right.
skin. You understand that? So why do we walk around with low self-esteem, selling drugs to one another, killing one another, married, sleeping with women and not taking care of the kids? Why do we do that? You don't know why. Do you know why? How old are you? You 16 years old, so you coming up. You got a lot of stuff you don't learn, but we got to try to stop this now because after generation, we continue to go through the same situation, right? How old are you? You 25 years old. You married? You having the kids and everything like that? You got kids. That's why you need to learn this because you want to break the generation curse that we be going through year after year. It starts with you teaching your kids, teaching your family, all right?
That's right.
So you got to learn God's commandments, all right?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.